A lot of times you decide on simple things like, I haven't done this in a while.
It's time.
To keep everybody honest. So Pagan hitting .291. He fouls this one back and out of play.
But what happens to you every time you go to bunt? What kind of pitch do you get?
Well, you always in your mind think it was really the best pitch in the world to hit. But I'd say this, he got a pretty good pitch to hit on the second pitch. That one bounces. Pagan went 2 for 4 on Tuesday night, went 1 for 4 last night. Since he's been moved back to the top of the lineup, the Giants have really played good baseball.
You can see it, the knuckle up. That's going to be another curveball right there. See how he grips that. That's a good curveball. A lot of guys call it a spike curve or a knuckle curve.
Giants, there's only a few of these Giants have seen Lyles before. Pagan is not one of them. There's a high fastball. So you kind of have to go to school. And Pagan, the more pitches he sees, the better off it is for everybody in that lineup. 2-2 pitches down low, so it's 3-2.
Marco Scutaro getting chalked up in the on-deck circle. You look at the body type of Lyles, broad shoulders. We mentioned 6'4", 210. He's the prototypical starting pitcher in his appearance. Signed out of high school. First round pick in 2008.
Well, he needs to throw a strike here to Pagan. He does, and Pagan rolls it to Altuve, and that's how this game gets started.
Mr. Altuve, what do you say we meet the rest of the Astros on defense tonight? Starting in the outfield, it'll be Martinez, Bogusevic, and Paredes. Pretty good arms across the board in that Astros outfield. Green and Dominguez on the left side, Altuve and Wallace on the right side. And Jason Castro will be in the squad, putting down the signs.
Mike Everett's behind the dish. Laz Diaz, Tim Welke, Paul Schreiber from first to third. Here's Scutaro hitting .285. And he takes a belt tie strike. 6 home runs, 49 RBIs. He is one of the few Giants that has faced Lyles before. And Scutaro fouls it back. It's 0-2.
Mike Everett, the plate umpire. Low ball preference. He's got soft corners. Meaning they're not always consistent, but you will get some width on the away part of the strike zone to right hand. You get more width on the away and the righties than you do on the lefties.
Scutaro skies this one out into center field for Bogusevic. Bogusevic went back, now comes in. 2 outs. And here's Sandoval. See Sandoval in the series 1 for 6. Buster Posey in the on-deck circle. And the first pitch to Pablo Sandoval is down low. Giants are 36-29 on the road. For the better part of the season, they were under 500 on the road. On the ground, Dominguez ranges to his left, side retires. So a nice inning for Lyles. Bonus song coming out. and Dominguez. Bogusevic will hit 8th. Jordan Lyles 9th.
On the hill tonight for the Giants will be Ryan Vogelsong. And this is what he has done in 24 starts this year. 11-7 with a 2.90 ERA. Vogelsong doesn't really stop there either. He's been so consistent. And he has 20 quality starts. That's tied for second most in the National League. When you hit off a Vogelsong, you're going to see a lot of fastballs. You're going to see a lot of changeups. He can cut the ball. He can throw you a slider. He can give you a curveball. Lots of different movement. Lots of different types. And that's with the fastball as well. He'll two-seam. He'll four-seam. He'll elevate. Lifetime against the Astros, 2-2. Has never beaten him in a Giants uniform. Got beat twice by him last year. Has not faced him this year.
So here's Altuve. And the first pitch to Altuve is down low. 1 for 9 in this series so far for Altuve. And he's 1 for 4 lifetime against Vogelsong. Sandoval in at third. And there's a belt tie strike to even the count. Astros have lost 4 straight. They're 10 games under 500 at home. Tyler Green is on deck. Altuve in the hole for a base hit.
Let's take a look at the defense playing behind Ryan Vogelsong tonight. Giants starting in their outfield from left to right. It will be Blanco, Pagan, and Pence. Crawford, Sandoval will patrol the left side of the infield. Scudero and Belt will be on the right side, and Buster Posey will be in the squad putting down the signs.
Here's Tyler Green. He's got 1 hit in the series in 6 at-bats. Faced Vogelsong a couple of times lifetime. He's 0 for 2. Altuve goes in a swing and a slow roller. Sandoval will charge and throw, and they get Green. And Altuve now in scoring position.
As good as a bunt. Take a look at the grips that Ryan Vogelsong will be using tonight. There's the 4-seam fastball. You see the thumb underneath the middle finger. The 2-seam fastball. It moves it over about a 1/2 inch. Don't have to move it much. Just get underneath the forefinger. Throw it like a fastball. There's the curveball with the pressure point on the middle finger. Half the ball up on both sides of your thumb and your middle finger. This is your changeup, the circle change. Look at the pressure point between the forefinger and the thumb. And here's his cutter, which he'll throw just like a fastball, cocking his wrist, offsetting the ball.
Here's Wallace. Wallace takes maybe inside. 1 ball and no strikes. Three hits on Tuesday night for Wallace. Came back yesterday with a couple of hits, so he's had 5 hits in the series.
Justin Siena High School in Napa, at Arizona State. Take a look at the breakdown. The fastball, 56% of the time you're going to see a fastball, and everything else just basically what's working that night he's going to go with. He doesn't really have a favorite. His belief is if you can't throw a pitch 3-2, then don't say you can throw a pitch. And he believes that he can throw all of his pitches 3-2.
Hit to right field in the park to Hunter Pence. Altuve will tag. He'll end up at third, 2 outs. And that'll bring up Jason Castro.
Another Northern California from Castro Valley. And that's easy to remember. I'm sorry. It just is.
Well, he hit cleanup on Tuesday night and went 1 for 3. Got into a game as a pinch hitter last night. Hit the ball sharply in the 9th inning, but he hit a 1-hopper to Belt, and Belt turned it into a 3-6-3 game-ending double play. Pitch down low, 1 ball and no strikes.
Jason Castro was most valuable player of the Stanford baseball team that went to the College World Series in 2008. He's got credentials, good ones.
Fouls this one back, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike.
Giants fan who brought his glove made some kind of play. Sitting in the level just below us, left-hander. Made the Giants fans' family very proud. There he is. Picked it clean.
Nice. 1 ball and 1 strike. At the knees, 1 and 2.
Such great use of that inside corner. There's a lot of pitchers that they'll show inside, but they don't like to go inside. It's so important, especially when you're talking about how to use the fastball properly.
Lined into right center field, and it's going to shoot by Hunter Pence. Astros are on the board. Castro's got a double. It's 1-0 Houston.
Boy, he went down there and got that changeup. 70 outside corner. I mean, it's right there to the glove. He waits well and put a charge into this one. Kept his hands back nice there.
Vogelsong gave up a first inning run in his last start to the Braves. Now it's Jimmy Paredes, the switch hitter, who comes into this at bat 0 for 6 since he's been called up from the minor leagues. And he takes that pitch down low, 1 ball and no strikes.
Had a good strong year. 37 stolen bases on top of that 318, 13 home run year.
Pagan is not going to get this. His throw home is going to come all the way to the backstop. And it's 2-0.
Well, Angel Pagan, he was gambling. He knew he had a catcher out there at second base. He's thinking, well, maybe I got a shot at it. The last time he did this, he threw a guy out to watch the rainbow. Just trying to bite off a lot of airtime, knowing that he wasn't really too concerned about the cutoff man. He's a javelin thrower. That wins a medal.
Wow. Here's Fernando Martinez. So Paredes, his first hit of the year, knocks in a run, and this is bounced to Crawford. Crawford wrestles it a bit, but throws him out, and that'll end the inning. So 2 runs on 3 hits, 1 left. Buster Posey's going to lead things off here in Houston. It's the Astros 2 and the Giants 0. Phillies 21-12. Buster Posey takes a strike. Posey pence belt. Lyles, 2 ground balls and a fly ball in the first inning. Buster Posey last night 0 for 3. He went 1 for 4 on Tuesday. He has been behind the dish now in all 3 games in this series. Posey hits a very high fly ball down the right field line, and that is going to just drift into the seats. And it's 2 balls and 1 strike. And that little guy ended up with it.
That's where it should go.
Well, the old man's eating some French fries. 2-2 to Posey. This one off his foot. That's well protected. And it remains 2-2. Right above the protection there.
Looked like a shin burger. Wherever the protector is, it always seems to miss it. You should just go up there and use the whole protective piece like a catcher has, and you'll be fine. And you'll hit it off your back leg. That's how it works.
Posey stepped out. It's 2-2. And bounces this one through the shift.
That's a thing.
What was that?
That is a thing of beauty right there. Well, Hunter Pence is coming up, and he's our AT&T U-verse reverse replay. Last night, he continued his onslaught against his former team. First inning, he does this against Dallas Keuchel, a 3-run shot will lead to a 4-run innings, and that would really prove to be the difference. And that's our AT&T U-verse reverse replay.
He has hit a home run off of Lyles. And Buster Posey said, I'm going to mess with everybody as he shortens up to bunt. Altuve was playing way over, close to being behind second base, which left that whole right side of the diamond open. And I said, well, maybe I'll give it a shot. And that was almost a line drive double down the right field line.
I think that's what he was trying to do. Well, if there's a regular second baseman there, which there's not, this probably would have been a can of corn ground ball. But you look at the way he hit that ball, it's almost like he played Pepper and took advantage of it.
Seriously, it did look like that.
That was by design.
Out of play. Brandon Belt is on deck. Just inside. For a second, it almost sounded like it might have hit the bat of Hunter Pence, but it didn't. It's 2-2. Posey at first. On the ground into right field, a base hit. The Astros might start rethinking their defensive alignment.
They're setting their defense, and it's not working for them. Giants are finding holes, and that's a good thing. You can see Altuve, the second baseman, on top, really close to the second base bag, playing pinch to pull. And he, like Posey, looked like he did that on purpose.
Set it up now for Belt with Gregor Blanco on deck. See Belt in the series 1 for 8.
He's a little disappointed with that. He's got family here this whole series, leaving a lot of tickets. Mom and dad are here. He wants to get some hits for him. He's hit the ball hard. He has only found one that can find a hole.
One and 0.
But you definitely press when you've got friends and family in the stands.
Two and 0. So Belt, who does have a good eye, is not giving in to Jordan Lyles. Belt lines it to left. That'll be a base hit. They're going to hold Buster Posey, and the bases are loaded.
Very difficult to score here if you're a runner at second base and there's a ball hit to left field because of the Crawford boxes. The left fielder plays such a shallow set. And then you have Posey, who's running average speed at best, and there's just no way. You got good arms across the board. Every outfielder is above average in this outfield for the Astros tonight. With nobody out, you are not going to challenge. But nice opposite field hitting for Belt. Good momentum on the play from Martinez. Would not have been a good decision from Flannery if he opted wisely.
He did not want to put his butt on the line. So here's Blanco. Blanco started on Tuesday, went 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts. Struck out as a pinch hitter last night. So that's not what the Giants are looking for here. They need this ball put in play. This pitch, that was a good breaking ball, 0-1.
Indeed it was. Certainly not something you're going to look for first pitch, first time up in the game.
Crawford on deck. That much difference between those last two pitches, and now Blanco's behind 1 and 2.
Yeah, I think he said that very thing to Mike Everett. He said, yo, dude, the last one was a ball, this one was higher, you're calling this one a strike, you're killing me.
Got him.
Well, that turns out to be a rough at bat, and Jordan Lyles gets a strikeout he was looking for. Goes a two-seam fastball, and it backs Blanco off and comes right back across the plate. And that's a high strike we don't normally associate Mike Everett with.
Well, now it's up to Crawford because you can't leave it up to Vogelsong. So Blanco puts Crawford on the hot seat. And this is bounced. That's one. And it's a foul ball.
And that's good.
That's just about as exciting a foul ball as you'll ever see.
A lot going on in that foul ball. Laz Diaz making the call, and that's what Tony DeFrancesco, the manager of the Astros, want to know. Who made the call? Once the ball gets past first base, it's the first base umpire's call. Until then, it's the plate umpire's call.
Oh,
you can see Laz Diaz. He initially signaled fair.
Yeah, Laz was going with the fair call.
You can see why DeFrancesco was questioning that. He was reacting to Laz Diaz.
0-1 to Crawford. Oh and 2 to Crawford.
This is the strike 2 pitch to Blanco. I mean, that's right across the letters. And then he comes back in, throws it right back at the same thing. So, I mean, he's consistent with that call. Once you take it once for a strike, you got to protect it.
Crawford's got a battle here. Hits this one on the ground. They're going to come home. That's 1. And that's all they'll get. And here's Vogelsong. Well, Vogelsong doesn't have an RBI this year, so this might be a good spot.
I say he's due. I mean, he started out the season, he was a 190 hitter lifetime. That's outstanding for a pitcher.
No balls and 1 strike.
Miles went right at him with a challenge.
Out of play, 0-2.
You look at Lyle's best fastballs right now. He's reaching back. Both fastballs to Vogelsong, 95ers. Fish ain't biting.
Pence, Belt, and Crawford. Two and 2.
Now this becomes a very interesting pitch. You don't want to get to a 3-2 count.
Well, he has to figure out what he can throw a strike with, and that's what he's got to throw. Shot right back at Lyles, and that'll end the inning. Giants leave him loaded. It's 2-0 Houston. And then Javier Lopez got a double play ball. And that was to end the ball game, 2/3 of an inning. Total of 6 2/3, 3 hits, an earned run, 2 walks, 8 strikeouts. 2-0 Houston. It's Matt Dominguez to lead things off. And a first pitch strike to Dominguez. That was what it looked like from last night.
6 2/3 innings, 3 hits allowed, 8 strikeouts. You give up 1 run, it's dealing. But Chris Bochy would definitely like it for Ryan Vogelsong to go deep into the game tonight, give him at least 6.
Dominguez pops this one back.
Now bases lower, 2 outs, 2-2 count to Ryan Vogelsong, and watch this. A bullet that just finds its way into the glove of Jordan Lyles. Believe me, he didn't think to do this. It just happens. What a charger.
Dominguez on the ground, foul. As he pulls it wide of third, it remains 1-2.
Giants fans got to see over there. That's nice.
On deck is Bogusevic. Vogelsong's going to step back. Down the right field line and out of play. Boy, he dove way out there to get that one.
Definitely in the protect mode.
To right field. Pence on the move. Pensing is not going to get it, and it rolls away from him. And Dominguez is going to head for 3, and he will make it. So right off the bat, Vogelsong in trouble.
First guy up, the inning after you've been roughed up a little bit. For Vogelsong, giving him 2 spots, 2 runs in the first inning, and that's getting roughed up here. You want to get that lead dog out, but not going to happen. Nice opposite field at bat there by Dominguez, just out of reach of Hunter Pence. So an easy 3-bagger. The Giants are going to bring their infield in. I'm a bit surprised by this.
Bogusevic hitting at .208. 6 home runs, 23 driven in. It's low, 1 ball and no strikes. Four hits now for the Astros. Dominguez at third, and this is driven into center field, and that'll be plenty deep to knock in Dominguez, and it's 3-0.
Nice job. Good situational at bat.
So here's Lyles. Lyles is 4 for 29 on the season. Altuve is on deck.
In each of the games here in Houston, starting pitchers have really not found their rhythm until about 30 pitches into the game. We used to always believe at the Astrodome it took you a long time because it was just a different environment. I mean, here it's not quite as synthetic as it was at the Astrodome. You've got grass here. The lights in the old dome, it didn't affect you the same way that lights do in outdoor ballparks. And I think you can say the same thing here. And it also has a different sound, so it takes you a while to sensually get into the game. Backdrop, mound, everything just a little out of weird.
Now strikes out on the curveball. First strikeout for Vogelsong, and here's Altuve.
But it has been consistent with all three starters in this series. Well, you want to be guaranteed tickets to possible postseason games at AT&T Park. All you got to do is get on deck right now for a 2013 season ticket plan. With a $500 non-refundable deposit, you will have guaranteed access to potential wild card and division playoff games in 2012. So call 415-972-2298 right now and speak with a sales executive who will explain how it all works.
Altuve singled and scored in the first inning. Like you mentioned it last night, maybe the smallest strike zone in the National League in Altuve.
Yeah, he didn't give him much to throw to. Dustin Pedroia is another small zone, but you really have to concentrate past your hitter to your target to get through that.
Tap slowly to Crawford, and that'll end the inning. Giants have the top of the order coming up. They now trail 3-0. Scudero and Sandoval facing Jordan Lyles, so this will be the second time around for these Giants hitters. Pagan bounced out to Altuve at second base to lead off the ball game. He did get it to a 3-2 count. In at third is Dominguez. And a strike to Pagan.
You see a guy one at bat, you definitely have an idea as to what the movement on his fastball is, break on his breaking ball, if he's getting that changeup over, what side of the plate he likes to throw the fastball to. So you will have a plan.
Right at Wallace. All right, McDonald's True Stories, June 22nd, 1986. It was a doubleheader against the Houston Astros. My partner won the first game, a complete game, 7 hits, 2 runs, a walk, 7 strikeouts. And in the second game, the Giants completed the sweep by taking the doubleheader. And with that win, the Giants were a game and a half up in the National League West.
Mike Aldretti making the play at first base. That was a good day.
Here's Scudero. Scudero hit a fly ball to center field in the first inning. This is wrapped foul down the left field line.
Ooh, look out. Hit him right in the glove. Bad spot. You guys got to make the play. I'm sorry.
Problem was he was listening to Milo. Milo screwed him up.
He'll put you in a trance.
Foul back from Scudero. It's 1-2. Yeah, you know what? You brought your glove. You did everything right. There's Milo, putting him in a trance.
Hall of Famer Milo Hamilton. Going to call it a career at the end of the season.
Look out.
Milo Hamilton, 67 years behind that microphone.
Out, same spot.
Curveball's not his friend right now, so that means this 3-2 count, Scudero can sit on the fastball. And there are times you can definitely gamble and look for a pitch. This might be one of those times.
Out of play.
There it was.
So another payoff pitch to Scudero. And Scudero hits the ball almost in the same spot.
2 slider. So Jason Castro, the Astros catcher, mixing it up. Fastball in.
That's going to be a souvenir.
This has turned into a pretty good battle here. Next pitch to Scudero will be number 10. That last pitch, number 50 for Jordan Lyles.
Hit out into right center field. A long run for Paredes, but it's Bogasevic who puts it away. Let's look back at some of the moments against these two teams. This was 2001. Barry Bonds hit home run number 70 on the season.
Wilfredo Rodriguez. Remember, they didn't pitch to him the whole series. And when he did come in to hit, they brought some kid out of the minor leagues that nobody knew about through 96 from the left side. What'd he do? Took him deep.
Here's Sandoval. Sandoval bounced out to third in the first inning. Swing and a miss. 1 ball and 1 strike. Sandoval now 1 for 7 in this series. Rolls this one up the middle. Altuve will try to get it to first. They're going to call him out. I don't know about that one. 3-0 Houston.
Baseball on Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area is brought to you by Provident Credit Union. Provident Credit Union's Super Reward Checking is better than free. They pay you.
Here in Houston, the Astros have jumped out to a 3-0 lead. This was the play to end it.
Now watch him swing out right here as if he's going to round first base, and then he's get back online. This is something that my partner pointed out between innings. I mean, he was thinking that ball was going to get through. If he runs in a straight line, he beats it out.
Here's Tyler Green, who takes wide. Green bounced out to Sandoval in the first. Out of play, 1 ball and 1 strike.
You just can't take anything away from this effort, though. I mean, it's almost like he flipped the hook shot over to Wallace at first base. I don't know how he got enough on the throw to get it there from that throwing motion. Remarkable play. I mean, he is really hauling into left field. Look at this little hook shot. Strike. And they got him. If Sandoval doesn't swing out, he beats it by a step, perhaps. Watch him swing out a little bit. Hook shot. And he got him. By the way, your old college roommate almost got hurt.
It's pretty quick.
First base coach for the Astros, Dan Radisson, former roommate of my partner at Southern Illinois.
Slowly hit foul.
So you used to wake him up to go to class?
Yeah, that's probably not the story he'll tell you. There's Danny. Good baseball man.
Yes, he is.
This is popped back into the level in front of us. That's the fraternity picture at the SIU at the teacups.
You're a Sox fan.
Hit well. Hunter Pence. Gone. Opposite field home run, 4-0. You get the ball down the lines here, it's going to go.
You've got life on both sides of the field. The Crawford boxes get so much of the publicity, but right field, you can't forget right field. It's got a low fence and lots of carry, and this thing just never came down.
Here's Wallace.
Right now, Chad's got to be thinking about what the heck's going on.
Wallace hit a fly ball to center field in the first inning. This is the guy that has got the pop. He's the home run hitter in this lineup. Scudero will grab this one by the cut of the grass. 1 out. It was the College World Series in 1971. Things have changed a little bit. Danny played for the
Cardinal organization.
Tulsa Oilers while I was in Oklahoma City.
American Association.
They had a haircut rule. We didn't.
Cardinals did have a haircut rule.
Castro takes low and away. 1 ball and no strikes.
Those are good days. Those are fun days. Making $500 a month, clearing $90. They took out room and board after every 2 weeks. That was awesome. Some guy was paying me to play baseball. Woohoo!
A called strike to even the count. Yeah, the first year can be a little bit rough because you can only make $500 a month. That I'm sure has changed now. That was the maximum. Foul back, 1-2. It's not fair that you should, that first year you should have to play in, of all places, a gambling town. Reno. It's just not right. And Castro out swinging, and that's the second strikeout for Vogelsong. Dave Fleming will be in. He'll be in 4, 5, and 6. We'll see if he can slow down this Houston Astros team.
It's the first time we showed Lee Jones, our radio engineer, when he wasn't eating on this road trip.
He's got something behind that computer, for sure. Paredes with an RBI single in the first. His first hit since he's been called up, and he's backed off the plate. 1 ball and no strikes. Swing and going to miss to even the count.
1-2 combination has been working for a long time. Not move their feet, go away. 2 pitches, 2 fastballs. Two and 1 to Paredes. Swing and a miss, 2-2. Change up, and he had to shake a couple times to get to that pitch. Posey wanted a fastball in, then he wanted a fastball away. You got a guy that chased a changeup. That sets up fastball above the hands. Posey wants a slider at back foot. No, he's going outdoor. Back door, rather. The thing about Posey is he's really conscious of it. It's patterns. Doesn't want to get into a pattern with any of his pitchers. So he'll deliberately stay away from set patterns.
It'll be Crawford. And that ends the inning. The home run by Green. It's 4-0. Dave Fleming will be in.
Baseball on Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area is brought to you by Heffernan Insurance Brokers. Insurance and financial services for you and your business. Visit HEFINS.com.
Welcome back to Minute Maid Park here in Houston. Giants trailing the Astros heading into the fourth inning by a score of 4-0. Joining us for play-by-play, here's Dave Fleming.
Mike, nice to be with you.
Yeah, welcome.
Giants have some work to do. First pitch breaking ball to Posey for a strike.
Did you bring some runs with you?
Well, we'll see. Giants have had some good at-bats. They've hit some balls hard. And they got it all set up with this part of the order in the second. Did not take advantage of it, though.
Well, all they have to do is get one on the board. And that gets them going. Always starts with one.
Ball two with the fastball.
I know one thing about this offense. I mean, the way they've been scoring runs, it doesn't scare them to be down 4-0. Good news is it's still just the fourth inning.
Well, that is definitely true. There's a strike called 2-2, and that's a difference from, say, seasons past, and maybe even different parts of this year. Giants not only feel, they know they've done it. They can come from behind. 2-2 to Posey, who had a base hit his first time up. Ball three. It's been a quiet season, or a series rather, for Buster Posey. Certainly not a quiet season. Just a couple of hits.
This was an offensive road trip. If you're a hitter, you're looking at going to Houston. You're looking at going to Wrigley Field, where it's warm. See the score there today? 12-11.
I did.
Wind's blowing out, brother.
Tomorrow afternoon could be interesting. Posey drives one to right field. He hit that one pretty well. Paredes saw on the warning track to make the catch.
Well, in honor of Bruce Lee Tribute Night on September 4th, the Giants and Bruce Lee Foundation have partnered up to offer fans exclusive co-branded merchandise. T-shirts, hats, pins, and iPhone covers are available in this exclusive collection. And a portion of the proceeds will benefit the Bruce Lee Foundation. Visit the Giants Dugout store or call 877-544-2687 to purchase your Giants Bruce Lee merchandise today. There's the Cubs Brewers score.
A wild one. Cubs came from 6 down, scored 3 in the 9th, and won that game. Cubs offense, they've got a little life in that offense. Hunter Pence behind in the count now 0-2. Starlin Castro just signed a new deal. He was a part of the rally today. Alfonso Soriano's been swinging the bat well. Anthony Rizzo, their young first baseman, has really had a nice first full year. Oh, 2 in the dirt. The Giant starter for tomorrow afternoon is already there.
Madison Bumgarner flew out early. Going to get a good night's sleep. I tried doing that twice in my career. I didn't get it to the 5th inning either time. That was it for me.
You did not want to travel ahead of the team after that.
I did not. I always felt you're going to get your best night's sleep 2 nights before you pitch anyway.
Well, let's hope Bumgarner's a little different than you.
Oh, yeah, he'll do fine. He likes Wrigley Field. He likes when the wind is blowing out. Do you remember the last time that happened? A couple years ago when they won like 13-0 and the wind was blowing out like 30 miles an hour.
And strikes out swinging, 2 down.
That's a nice slider. That's a perfect location for a 2-2 slider. And given Hunter Pence's history, and the Astros certainly know his history, you can't run up there and put it in a better place. Nice pitch.
So 2 outs for Jordan Lyles. Here's Brandon Belt. His single loaded the bases in the second with nobody out. But the Giants did not score. They trail 4-0. Swings at that breaking ball, and against the shift, hits it to the shortstop Green, playing on the second base side. Giants go down quietly. Middle of the 4th, it's 4-0 Astros. Photos to be had with the Giants fans who are here in Houston for this game tonight.
Yeah, nice turnout of orange and black tonight.
Just looking for something to get excited about. Giants trail this one 4-0. Jordan Lyles kept the Giants offense quiet in the first 4 innings. And the Astros have swung the bats against Vogelsong. Martinez takes strike 1.
Yeah, and that's one thing that could get him going. I mean, Vogelsong has yet to put a 0 up on the board. If he has a nice quiet inning here, gets his offense back in. Quick innings always help an offense. Doesn't have to be a shutdown inning. Just a quick 0, 1, 2, 3, get him back in.
And the Giants do need innings, period, out of Vogelsong. I'm sure you and Kite talked about it earlier in the game, but with what happened last night with Barry Zito knocked out so early, Giants bullpen really had to work hard. Foul ball hit hard. But the Giants need Vogelsong to hang in this game and spare at least some of those arms in the Giants' pen. George Contos was really the hero of the bullpen last night. Breaking ball in the dirt, and that one got a piece of Posey. And nobody came out to get the ball, so Posey, hurting, has to go get it himself. Gave him a chance to walk it off.
Yeah, it's just not an easy job.
It is not. Fernando Martinez waits for the 1-2. Ball 2. There's last night's bullpen hero, George Contos, his first big league victory.
Oh, he was fantastic last night. How'd that post-game interview go?
Yeah, well, on the radio side, we had Contos as our post-game guest. And the setup is in the clubhouse itself, so not in the dugout, back in the clubhouse. Anyway, George gets on. Congratulations, first win. How does it feel? Pitched real well. And about 30 seconds into the interview, you can hear very clearly in the background, "Wrap it up, wrap it up, wrap it up, come on." Way up there, pop up into the rafters, and it hits one of them and ricochets back, a foul ball.
Second night in a row we've seen the ball hit the rafters, and we have found that they have altered the grounds rule. If the ball hits the rafter in the field of play, it's live. If it hits the ball in foul territory, it's dead. So that ball was dead. In other words, if it comes down after it hits it, you catch it, it's not an out.
Yeah. And that one hit on the foul side of the line. Anyway, it was Jeremy Affeldt in the background who wanted Contos to finish up the interview so the Giants pitchers could celebrate with him. Okay. But here's his kid, his first ever chance to do a post-game interview. His mom is listening back at home. And George is trying to give nice, honest answers about his first ever big league win. And Affeldt's screaming at him. And Contos starts sort of stammering and gets his train of thought interrupted. And so I just said, well, just go celebrate with your teammates. So I found Affeldt today, and I said, look, that was no good. And he was a little sheepish about it. Here's strike 3 call.
Well, he thought that the interview was just about over.
Yeah, it had just started. So Contos told me, he came over, got into the conversation with Affeldt today as well. He said to Jeremy, he said, my mom was so upset she wanted to hear me. It was her first chance to hear me do an interview. And you interrupted it.
Oh, well. Just have to win another game so you can do another interview.
There he is. So he did sort of apologize.
Well, it is a tradition that when you get your first big league win, you're going to find yourself in the clothes hamper and you're going to get a beer bath. It's kind of how they roll.
And that did happen for the Giants youngster. Dominguez takes a ball. Dominguez hit a triple his first time up, past the dive of Pence, and scored a run. 2 in the first, 1 in the second, 1 in the third for Houston. I I did tell Affel, I said, next time just let the kid have his moment for a minute, and then you can have your fun.
Well, I'm sure he'll let him have his minute next time.
Here I was lecturing him. Sandoval can't reach that one, and it's headed to the corner, and Matt Dominguez is on the move again. Dominguez already with a triple. Now he's got a double. For the double by Dominguez. Our trivia question tonight is brought to you by AT&T. What pitcher has the most career wins for the Giants against Houston? That's our trivia question. Brought to you by AT&T. We've spent part of this series, Mike, thinking about the Giants and the Astros history against one another, because this is the last time the Giants will play the Astros in this park, or overall as a National League opponent. Astros will be an American League team starting next year, part of the AL West.
I still find that hard to believe.
Ball one to Bogusevic.
These are fans that have been used to National League style baseball for a long time, and that was really the signature style of play. When they opened up the Astrodome, they quickly figured out home runs weren't going to work there. And over the years, they crafted a team designed for the Astrodome. And they were a team built on speed, contact. They played the game fundamentally better than anybody else. And you went in there, I mean, it was always going to be a 2-1, 3-2 ball game. They were tough.
Lots of great names in their National League history. Lots of great pitchers, especially, including Nolan Ryan. 1962, same year that the Mets made their debut as a franchise in the NL. The Astros were born as the Colt 45s at that point. They played in that old outdoor ballpark. Bogusevic swings and misses at the changeup for strike two.
Talking to one of the writers who've been around a long time. He wasn't here when they first opened up and were playing outside. He said, can you imagine what those games must have been like playing without a dome in Houston? I said, yeah, as a matter of fact, I can imagine. Played the Texas League. Texas League, you're playing in Shreveport, Lafayette, Alexandria. It's just like Houston.
Those are Houston. Those are the same climate.
And it is. You have to get in shape, no question.
I love talking to Willie Mays, Willie McCovey about their days coming to Houston in that outdoor ballpark before the Astrodome was built. They talk about the heat and the humidity. They also always bring up the mosquitoes.
We would go back to the rooms on the road, and we'd be staying in small motels, not hotels, when we were in the minor leagues.
Bogusevic, a liner to second, caught by Scudero, and the Giants get the double play.
Brought your bat back with you to kill the mosquitoes before you went to sleep.
Sounds like fun.
Yeah, painted the wall a different color.
On to the fifth, 4-0 Houston.
Bay Area is brought to you by Supercuts. Rock the cut. Supercuts.
Well, you want to be guaranteed tickets to possible postseason games at AT&T Park? Get on deck now for a 2013 season ticket plan with a $500 non-refundable deposit. You will have guaranteed access to potential wild card and division playoff games here in 2012. Call 415-972-2298 to speak with a sales exec. He'll explain all about it, or she'll explain all about it as well.
Gregor Blanco leads off for the Giants here, and Blanco would like to have a better at bat than his first one. Maybe the strike zone was a little bigger than usual, but Blanco came up in a spot with the bases loaded, nobody out, a chance to put the ball in play and get a run in, and struck out. 1-1 to count to Blanco. There's a Giants fan.
You know, modern day player, it's not as easy now as it used to be because there's a lot of different jerseys now. Where in the past you had two, a home and an away.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, this year they've got the road jersey that sometimes says San Francisco across your chest like that. But they also have a Sunday away jersey where you have the old retro style we wore back in the early 80s, and they have the SF on the back. And this is how he started the game. He had the SF on the Sunday jersey.
He had it in the bottom of the fourth. He just changed. So, Marco Scudero just grabbed the wrong one, I guess.
Yeah.
And took a few innings for somebody to notice, maybe.
I'm sure they noticed it right away. They just let him go out there and wear it for 4. It's kind of how it rolls.
See how long it takes for him to notice. 2-2 to Blanco here. Giants would like to get Blanco on base with his speed. He hits a little flip shot over the shortstop, and he will be off. Leadoff single.
This is how things ended for the Astros in the 4th, and you get a feeling if you're in that Giants dugout, maybe things are starting to change. And there you see the jersey as he walks off the field, the Sunday away.
So that's what Scudero was thinking. Our momentum just changed. Now I'm going to change my jersey.
Well, you just get rid of that doggone jersey. That's what's holding them back offensively.
Here's Crawford, who bounced out, forced play at the plate. So when they had that bases loaded situation, Crawford could not get a run in. Now hitting in a much different spot. You got Blanco and his speed at first. Nobody out. Pitcher Vogelsong due up next.
Don't think for 1 second it wasn't mentioned in the Giants dugout about how no wonder all these balls were hitting hard and getting caught.
It was that jersey.
It's called baseball feng shui.
Vogelsong hit just a bullet back up the middle that was caught by the pitcher Lyles in self-defense. He would have scored, probably would have scored a couple of runs. Crawford off the end of the bat, hanging up for Bogusevic, who makes a catch. All right, well, we asked our trivia question brought to you by AT&T. Let's ask it again and give you the answer. What pitcher has the most career wins for the Giants against Houston? And Mike?
Well, you got to say Juan Marichal, 20-12. He had 39 starts, 22 complete games. And Halicki, Jabbar, Gaylord Perry, and our old pal Vida Blue.
A great list, and you can imagine whether it was in Candlestick or at the Astrodome, in those pitchers' ballparks in those days, with all the defense on both sides, Marichal and the Astros must have locked in a lot of great pitching duels.
Well, the Astros could throw some arms at you. Owen Ryan, J.R. Richards, Joe Niekro, Don Wilson, Mike Scott.
A great part of their history. Vogelsong pulls the bat back and grounds one past the reach of the shortstop. So the Giants put that fake bunt swing away play on, and Vogelsong makes it work. Blanco to third. And now the Giants are set up first and third and one out.
And this is great, too, because the bottom of the lineup set up the top of the lineup. You show, and you don't have to hit the ball hard. You want to put it on the ground. If you're going with an abbreviated swing, you're just playing pepper. And there you see Tyler Green, the shortstop for the Astros, vacates the cover second. And Vogelsong finds a hole.
So beautifully executed there. Vogelsong at first. Blanco at third. And here's Pagan. Now Pagan's had 2 excellent at-bats with nothing to show for it. 0 for 2.
The Astros 42 times this year have had a lead and have lost it to go on to a loss.
Pagan, did he go on appeal? No. So the third base umpire, Paul Schreiber, ball 1. Took that pitch in the dirt. And you're right. Great opportunity for the Giants now. The bottom part of the order got it set up. It's still the 5th inning. The Giants have lots of outs to go. So just to get part of this deficit back would be big. Pagan chops that one and fair. Headed down the left field line. Blanco's going to score and Vogelsong is on the move. He'll be held at third. Pagan to second with a double. It's 4-1.
During this hot streak, how well has he used the whole field? You hang something on the outside corner up, he just goes right with it. Right down the line. They played off the bag. Beautiful job. Here they come.
Martinez did well to get to that one. You saw that shot there of Martinez down in the corner. Did not let it get all the way into the corner. That's a blind spot for us from where we sit. We cannot see that as it happens. And even with Vogelsong, the pitcher running, had it gotten by him and into the corner, maybe Vogelsong comes around to score. Maybe Pagan standing at third. As it is, the Giants will take it. 1 run in and set up for more with Scudero coming up, wearing his correct jersey. See, it all changed when he changed.
Baseball feng shui, I'm telling you.
Scudero looked disgusted his previous time up. What was it, a 10-pitch at bat? And he hit one to the warning track in deep right center field. It was caught. Infield's back for Scudero. Ball 1. So in essence, they're conceding a run. Even with Vogelsong, if he hits it on the ground toward the second baseman or the shortstop, Vogelsong's going to come in to score. Ball 2. Scudero's had a lot of big hits. It's been about a month now in a Giants uniform since the trade. He's had a lot of big hits in that time.
Yeah, you play to the situation. I mean, you're looking for something you can get in the air deep enough to score the run. Don't have much speed, so it's got to be a pretty deep fly ball.
That
mentioned you've got good outfield arms. You see the uniform is in sync, and that was the top of the third. Here things all starting to turn around.
So wait a minute. So he had the right jersey on, then he had the incorrect one. Now he's back to the correct one. Here's a comebacker, and it gets by Lyles toward the middle, and nobody will be out. Vogelsong comes in to score.
Oh, that's amazing right there.
Wow, what just happened?
He did not get a grip.
Green, an excellent defensive shortstop, couldn't even make a play to first.
Well, I thought for sure he's going to have a chance to get this, and he just, for whatever reason, whether it was a bad grip or just didn't feel like he had a chance to get Scudero, it looked like it was a sloppy exchange.
Well, that's a break. Still only 1 out. 2 runs are in now. Still first and third for Sandoval. The Giants are thinking big inning. Vogelsong gets a lot of credit. He helped build this rally with that beautiful play. And Pablo needs a hit. He is really struggling. Middle infield at double play depth. Sandoval drives one down the left field line. Foul.
Well, I think what happens to a lot of guys, they get here, they take batting practice, they're flipping balls out easy, especially guys coming from San Francisco where you don't get that feeling. You don't flip balls out of AT&T easily. And you start thinking home run. And when you do that, I mean, you start to change your angles. You start to drop the back shoulder. You start to get lifted your swing, and it puts you in a funk. And I think it's happened to Pablo Sandoval.
He lines that one to left field. Coming on, Martinez makes a catch. Tagging at third, Pagan. The throw offline. Pagan scores. 4-3, Houston.
Excellent at bat. That is an excellent at bat. He didn't get much to work with. He went with it to left field. Excellent at bat.
High fives for Pagan and also for Pablo. He can feel good about that one. You're right.
You take what they give you, and he really stroked this ball beautifully. Talked about the excellent arms you have across the board in the outfield. You saw Martinez just go an airmail. Ball was not on line, but it was a seed.
Scudero was not tagging up, so he had to stay at first base. 2 outs for Posey.
Saw Xavier Cedeno, the left-hander, and Fernando Rodriguez, the right-hander, get ready in the Astros bullpen.
3 runs are in here in the 5th. This is a 1-run game. And a ball in the dirt, the breaking ball to Posey.
Buster just missed one off him his last at bat to right field.
Just missed one.
He got up the bat just a little bit, or maybe out on the end.
Posey has very much, and maybe it's just purely the way the Astros have pitched him, but very much had an opposite field approach in this series. They have that overshift onto the infield again. And he hits one against the shift. Softly, Dominguez for the out. The Giants are retired, but they get 3 runs. Pagan a part of that rally. Middle of the 5th, a 1-run game. Our Geico quote of the game. Let's take you back to the perfect game Matt Cain against the Astros earlier this year and listen in.
On the ground, Arias from deep third, got him! And that's a perfect game. And the Giants mobbing Matt Cain on the pitcher's mound.
Our Geico quote of the game, courtesy of course, our own Dwayne Kuiper. A night that we'll never forget. Great part of Giants-Astros history. The Astros are using a pinch hitter here. It's Brandon Barnes. Bottom of the 5th. So Jordan Lyles, 5 innings, and he's done. .85 pitches, and his night is over.
Well, 85 pitches. You're talking about deep into the month of August, and Lyles is still 21 years old. He's in the developmental stage. They're not going to expose him to a whole lot of pitches this time of year as they try to build arm strength up with him.
He is the youngest starting pitcher in the major leagues.
You can see why they like him. He's got some tools.
Vogelson was not real happy with that pitch. He missed up high. So 1-2 the count to the pinch hitter, Barnes. Who started the first 2 games in center field, not in the starting lineup tonight. Curveball struck him out swinging.
That's a good hook. It's amazing when you're down 4 runs, your team rallies you back for the 3 spot. How your stuff gets a little bit more crisp. Next pitch for Vogelson will be number 75.
So it's been a frustrating night for him. Gave up 2 runs in the first, another run in the second, allowed a home run in the third. But it's not been a night of real high pitch counts. Here's Altuve, 1 for 2, single and a run. Fastball darting outside. Altuve loves to go after that high pitch. 1 ball, 1 strike to count. It's still the left-hander Cedeno who is warming up in the Astros pen. So they've used a pinch hitter for their starter Jordan Lyles, and in the 6th we're going to see likely Cedeno with Pence, but then the string of left-handers due up. Ball 2 to Jose Altuve. Fun player to watch. A player the Astros can, I don't know if he can be the centerpiece of the team, but they could definitely count on him. He's going to be a big part of the Astros' future. He's a good player.
He is. He's consistent. And he's still a baby, I mean, age-wise.
He was 22 at the start of the year. Full count now, 3-2.
But he does remind you of Dustin Pedroia, Freddie Patek, Joe Morgan, other hitters that were not tall in stature but had power. And you just can't, you don't want to walk them because they can steal a base. You don't want to just groove one in there because they can hurt you with a long ball. I'll tell you, small strike zones can unnerve a guy.
Full count pitch. Another foul ball. We had heard when he first came up, this was last year, Giants saw him down the stretch last year. Remember how tough the Astros were on the Giants. Giants were in contention, and the Astros made life very difficult on the Giants. And we had heard, well, it's a little rough defensively. I have not seen that this year. He looks to me like a good defensive second baseman.
Well, he's played a nice second base in this series.
Strike 3 called.
Beautiful fastball, right where it had to be. Well, let's check out our pitching matchup for tomorrow's game as the Giants head to Chicago. Then they'll play the first of 3. It'll be Madison Bumgarner on the hill, taking on Chris Volstad. You can join us right here on Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area at 10:30 a.m. for Giants pregame live right before Game 1 of the series, and that's our Chevron pitching matchup. Bumgarner in Chicago now, getting a good night's rest.
A pop-up on the first pitch by Green. Belt is there, and Ryan Vogelsong, a nice 1-2-3 inning. Belt's coming up for the Giants in the 6th, 4-3 Houston.
Sportsnet Bay Area is brought to you by Jack in the Box. Get the All-American Jack Combo at Jack in the Box. It's a no-nonsense burger with fries and a drink for only $4.99 plus tax at participating stores.
From Minute Maid Park in Houston with the roof closed on a hot night in Texas, 4-3 Astros, top of the 6th inning. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up, your oil change tune-up and SPOG experts. Mike, the new pitcher for the Astros, the left-hander, Xavier Cedeno.
I had a chance to see Cedeno. Take a look at his numbers. He's been in 30 games this year for the Astros. And, he could drop down. He's got some nastiness on his fastball. It'll go high 80s with some sink. He's got kind of a slurvy breaking ball, as you would imagine when you drop down. You'll see him drop down more to the side against lefties than he will against righties. We watched him warm up. He can throw his normal slots almost a high 3/4. So kind of reminds you in that regard a little bit like Javier Lopez. Basically a two-pitch guy.
Facing Pence, and then the Giants lefties are lined up. Strike one to the former Astros.
I mean, that's almost a high 3/4 slot. That's his normal slot, his natural slot. But he's learned to pitch from the side against lefties, and guess what? Got him in the big leagues.
Giants were down 4-0. They scored 3 in the 5th, trying to keep that offensive momentum going. You got Pence, Belt, and Blanco coming up. Pence got impatient. 1 for 2 tonight. Pence has had a good series coming back to Houston. Takes a ball. The biggest hit for Pence in the series last night, first inning, 2 on, and he hit a long way.
Yeah, big curveball dropped middle in from Dallas Keuchel, and he smoked it. He was a big potato.
440 feet.
What did they say initially? 364?
364. Yeah. I got a little upset at that last night. I'm over it now. But we checked. They have that home run tracker where they use the lasers, all the cameras they have. They estimated the ball would have traveled had it not hit that sign 75 feet above field level. 440 plus feet.
That's a big old curveball right there.
The look of focus from Hunter Pence.
They just changed the defense in the infield. They softened it up. Moved the second baseman back to a more traditional set.
Another breaking ball, and that's strike 3 called. So 1 out. Pence did not agree. Belt will be coming up. Stay up to date on everything Giants with CSNBayArea.com's insider Andy Baggerly. With the Giants all the way through 2012. Follow him on Twitter at CSNBags. Again, CSNBayArea.com to get all Andy's news and notes. Concentrating hard. Belt 1 for 2 with a single against the starter Lyles. And he missed that by a lot.
Well, if you're pitching and a guy misses a breaking ball like that, you're thinking you could throw a lot of them.
Why try anything else?
But Brandon Belt may be setting him up. Look funky and then on the first swing and then look for it the rest of the at-bat.
A little Willie McGee style.
Stranger things have happened, believe me.
He took it that time.
But once you see it, there's your education. You're just glad you see it on the first strike and not the third strike.
Belt, who in his career has always hit lefties well. His batting average against left-handed pitching this season, he hasn't had that many at-bats against him. It's not what it usually is. Takes that one again. A little flinch, but he took it, ball 2.
Well, pretty predictable. He missed the first one badly, and Cedeno just kept bumping him up there.
Belt still sitting on 4 home runs for the year. He rips that one into center field. So he saw the fastball and he was ready for it. One out single for Belt.
2-hit night for Brandon Belt. That makes you feel better. And he's got a lot of pass lists here tonight.
Yeah. And for Belt, too, it's been a relatively quiet series, but the one hit he had before tonight was that rally-sparking hit in the 9th inning. A huge moment for the Giants in Game 1 when they came from behind. Now Blanco, who singled to get the Giants rally started last inning and scored their first run of the game. Blanco typically has hit well against lefties. Astros do have to pay attention to Bell. That's one aspect of his game that we have learned about this year. He's got more speed than it looks like. He's stolen 10 bases, only been caught one time. One time he picks his spots well. You don't know if he'd be running against the lefty here, but they got to pay attention to him. Foul ball for a strike.
You know, it just depends on if they've got the motion down of Cedeno and they absolutely 100% know when he's going to go home. If he's tipping that somewhere in his motion, whether he sets up the tips or his leg when he lifts the tips, or the way that he cocks his chin or dips his chin. I mean, there's a lot of different ways a pitcher can tell you when he's going to go to home. If they have that information, they'll send it. Think about Cedeno, though. I mean, he's pretty quick home. He's better than average in unload time.
Ball one. So you got the stopwatch out. You're timing him.
Always. I think it's really interesting how guys will adjust, especially lefties. Lefties, they give you a lot of different looks. They give you a quick step, and then they'll give you a high leg kick. Everything is for a reason. The high leg kick sets up their move to first. It's great to watch an old pitcher who's been around the game a long time, like Zito, the way that he'll vary his looks and his rhythms. Just anything he can do to upset the timing of that runner.
Curveball for a strike. 1-2. Right-hander warming up. Rodriguez.
Giants have some activity in their pit as well. It's Jose Mijares.
Well, there is that possibility that the pitcher's spot will come up here in the 6th in a key spot with men on base. Yet the 8th place hitter Crawford on deck. Blanco strikes out swinging. Breaking ball got him. Two down. Belt still at first for Crawford, and it's not going to be Crawford. Giants are going to use Joaquin Arias, and I would imagine that the Giants are thinking that the Astros could make a counter move. Arias last night, late in the game, got hit by a pitch right on his wrist below his left hand, and it hurt him bad, but did not injure him.
Well, he didn't have a whole lot of meat on his bones, so the immediate fear was whether or not he had a break. But all systems were go after the game. He felt a lot better. Just a bruise.
Well, Tony DeFrancesco, the Astros manager, is coming out, so the Astros are not going to let Arias face the lefty. They'll make the pitching change. Giants with a runner on, down by a run in the top of the 6th, 4-3 Astros.
Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area, and it'll be Jim Cosmore who will be your host. It is the Bay Area's hottest ticket in sports talk. They'll have Ann Killian from CSN Bay Area, Mark Purdy from the San Jose Mercury News, and Marty Lurie, Baseball Marty, will be there, part of the KNBR family. All that and more. So join Jim Cosmore on Chronicle Live, presented by Farmers, tonight, 9 p.m., right here.
Giants fans in Houston, final game of this series, and they watched their Giants crawl back into this game, 4-3. Astros lead new pitcher Fernando Rodriguez to face the pinch hitter Joaquin Arias.
1-8 on the year with a 5.57 ERA. He's got a fastball to go low to mid 90s. He'll throw a slider, a curveball, a changeup. But the curveball really is his best breaking ball, so you'll see a lot more of those than with the slider.
So you see a lot of strikeouts, but also a lot of base runners. And Joaquin Arias, I mean, Bruce Bochy knew the Astros were going to make this counter move, but right now he is hitting everybody. And I think Bochy did not like that Crawford-Cedeno matchup, so he decided to make the move. Runner at first, an extra base hit with belt speed should tie the game. Rodriguez with a long pause before his first pitch, and Arias pops it up. Way up there behind second base. Altuve makes the catch. So Arias, the pinch hitter, gone on one pitch. Astros still ahead 4-3.
By authority of the San Francisco Giants and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of San Francisco Baseball Associates LP.
When the Giants get back home, the Arizona Diamondbacks will be in town Monday through Wednesday. This next week, September 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Monday is Labor Day, so that's that Monday day game. 1:05 start time at AT&T Park. Tuesday, Wednesday, both night starts, 7:15 first pitch times, and there's still some tickets available online at sfgiants.com. Arizona begins this series tonight in LA. And a good pitching matchup, Kennedy Kershaw, to start that series.
It should be a low pitch game. Huge game for Arizona. They're in a funk right now.
They've lost 6 in a row. 9.5 back of the Giants in the West. Arias stays in to play shortstop after pinch hitting for Crawford. Here's the kid from Sonoma, Brett Wallace. He's had a nice series against his hometown team.
You watch his grip, it's more of a golf grip than it is a baseball grip. He overlaps the little finger on his left hand over the knuckle between his forefinger and his middle finger on his bottom hand.
Little Jack Nicklaus style there. That's a pretty good changeup.
Good one. Watch Wallace take batting practice. I mean, he has got some severe pop. He'll hit him as far as anybody. There you see the overlapping grip. Bobby Thompson used to hit with an interlocking grip.
That's a lot of golfers use the interlock.
Tiger Woods.
Yeah. Me. Similar talent level there. You, me, Tiger.
Yeah, we're all in the same boat. You at least went to the same school. I haven't found our association yet. Right-handed. There we go.
Tiger and I were in the same freshman dorm. Class at Stanford. Gave him a few tips, putting tips. Improved his short game after he worked with me. Went on, had some success.
I didn't know that.
Right on the carpet in Larkin. Freshman dorm. Carpet was a little worn, so they rolled pretty true. Wallace strikes out swinging.
What a changeup. Even if it's up in the strike zone, a changeup can be a good pitch. Strikeout number 6 for Vogelsong. 4 by swinging, 2 by called strike 3. This is one where you really have to talk to yourself as you're walking back to the dugout.
The stuff for Vogelsong, I think, is so much better here in these last few innings than it was at the start of the game. Lots more swings and misses.
It's been pretty consistent with everybody that's gone out there to start the game. Guys have really been slow to find their rhythm. And we were talking a bit about it. I think it has to do with playing in a dome. It's a different feel. It's, you know, the lights are different. The sound is different. It takes you a while to settle in, not to mention the backdrop and the slant in the mound. There used to be really a home field advantage with the Astrodome here because they had turf. Everything was synthetic. You had to get used to the light. It took you about three days to get used to it. By then it was time to leave town. Montreal, a similar experience up there. It just felt like you were in a different, like in a vacuum or something. It was the sound, the sight, the smell. It just wasn't what you were used to playing on grass.
There was definitely a different smell in the Astrodome.
This is a beautiful ballpark. If you ever get to Houston, come see this place. It's fantastic. They did a wonderful job.
Castro took that curveball that bounced 2-1. Jason Castro, another of the Astros Bay Area ball players.
Got good representation on this team.
They do.
Bud Norris.
Castro, Wallace, Norris, 3 of the cornerstone players.
Astros have a lot of Californians, and the Giants have a lot of Texans.
Ball 3.
Pence, Huff, Belt. Who am I missing?
Texas native, went to high school, grew up in Texas, went to college in Arlington, drafted by the Astros, spent most of his big league career here. Here's ball 4. Castro takes a walk.
And there's the Astrodome. When it was built as the 8th wonder of the world, that we all bought into it. Never forget when I was a kid watching it on TV for the first time, and Vince Scully was doing the description of the new ballpark, and I was just in awe. I thought it was the coolest thing ever. I made one All-Star team in 13 years, and it was at the Astrodome.
So you, as a kid, you grew up, man, 8th wonder of the world, the pyramids, some of the great monuments across the globe. When you actually got to the Astrodome for the first time.
Well, I got to be honest with you, I was pretty impressed with it.
Okay, all right. You know what's pretty remarkable now is you drive by that spot, and the Astrodome is still there, and the new football stadium, which sits right next to it, dwarfs the Astrodome. Looks like you could pick the Astrodome up and easily just drop it right inside. It would fit.
Yeah, and I think you could put this place in the Astrodome.
I agree. 0-1 to Jimmy Paredes. 1-run game here. Vogelsong misses outside.
But you got the more you went back to the Astrodome every year, the more you started to dislike it because of those things we're talking about. playing baseball on AstroTurf just not a good thing.
Throw to first, paying attention to Castro over there. Giants really want Vogelsong to get through this 6th inning, keep this a 1-run game, but finish off the inning because his spot is coming up in the 7th. Soft liner over the reach of Arias. Castro is going toward third. Paredes to second, and the tag in plenty of time. They got him out at second base.
That is a huge play. Boy, what a mistake. If it does not pay off, you have a first and third with 1 out. It's not the time to gamble. Now, Paredes is a young player. But that's one time you really have to know that you can get to second because you don't want to lose the runner at third with less than 2 out in a 1-run ball game. And for him to get thrown out, now it allows Vogelsong a chance to pitch out of the inning. Much easier than if it was a first and third and just 1 out.
Yeah, that is a major mistake. The Giants had already conceded third base to Castro. Martinez chops one foul. So Paredes, just by getting that base hit, putting a little pressure on with his speed, Giants wanted to keep that double play in order. The throw routinely went to second. Paredes had a chance even going halfway to stop and go back to first. And Scott Moore's talking to him about it right now.
Yeah, Scott Moore's not a coach, that's a teammate. And he's letting him know, yo, here's what you do in that situation. You got to know how to play the game. But I mean, you're coming up, you want to impress, you're a young player, and oftentimes, you could be over aggressive and you can take your team out of a situation. And the situation that the Astros wanted was a runner at third, less than 2 outs. Learning at the big league level, you see it all over.
Strike 2 swinging.
That's where you have to pitch it. You got to pitch him up. Guy sets his hands low, but you can set your hands low, provided you get your hands up when you take your stride. When that front foot drops, your hands got to be up. But if they stay low, then you can pitch a guy up. But you don't want to pitch him down because that's where his strength is. Guy's hands, if he throws from the low side, he's a low ball hitter.
1-2. They set the target up, and he takes the ball. The Giants have the right idea here. Game that was once 4-0 Houston. Giants got 3 in the 5th. They're going to have a pinch hitter and then the top of the order back up in the 7th. Astros have that extra run over there at third. 2-2. Another high pitch, and he got him swinging. Good pitching by Vogelsong. Kipe will come back over and join Mike here. It is 4-3 Astros.
Back to the third inning. 2 out. Pablo Sandoval hits one up the middle, and watch out. Altuve to his right. A hook shot over to Wallace, and they do indeed get the Panda. And that is our Coors Light Freeze Can, brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. We are in a 4-3 ball game. It is the top of the 7th inning. Here again to tell you all about it, Dwayne Kuiper.
All right, thanks, Mike. It looks like it'll be Hector Sanchez who is going to pinch hit against the hard thrower, Fernando Rodriguez. A 1-run ball game here in Houston. He's trying to get out of town with a sweep. They're 5-10 in games where they could sweep the opposition. 5-10. There's Mota getting loose.
He will pitch the bottom of the 7th.
Sanchez had a big pinch hit last night. And here he takes a breaking ball down low. Just wonder about a guy that throws as hard as Rodriguez does, and he starts you off with a breaking ball. This is skied into shallow center field, and that's out number 1.
He got all that one.
He did.
Well, I mean, the problem with being able to throw really hard is that up here, guys can hit it.
Here's the line for Vogelsong. Here's Pagan, who had a big double in the 5th inning. And the first pitch at the knees for a strike.
It's great. You look at the notes. Every time you get the ball game, they give you a set of new notes and basically little tidbits about each player that are interesting. The one about Fernando Rodriguez is it made me smile. It was a note that happened in a game last year in June.
Here's the 0-1 to Pagan, and now it's 0-2.
And it was a game that was started by Wandy Rodriguez, who's no longer with the team. And then the next guy that relieved was Yuri Rodriguez. And then Fernando Rodriguez finished it up. It's the first time that guys all pitched, 3 different guys pitched in the same game that were not related with the same surname. Hey. Thought it was kind of cool.
Yeah,
made me smile. Rodriguez to Rodriguez to Rodriguez. Sounds like a law firm.
Did you say how they did?
They got beat.
One and 2 to Pagan, trying to reach now for Scudero. And he holds up on a breaking ball in the dirt. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The Giants, for a lot of reasons, want to beat the Astros. Stay up on the Dodgers. They should try to beat him for not scheduling this to be a day game.
Yeah, this is one of those times that the schedule sort of works against you. You usually get about 3 or 4 a game where the schedule maker just makes a mistake and you kind of have to wear it.
Got him. All right, time for Subway Eat Fresh. Ask Krug and Kite. Jeanette from Castro Valley. Are you ever going to do movie reviews again? We used to do that, probably about 10 years ago. Probably not. If it comes up in a bad game, yeah, probably.
Yeah, we need to go to a movie first. It's been a while since we did that. We need John. John gets us to the movies.
There you go. John's a movie guy.
When he gets back from assignment.
Actually, John's not a movie guy. John's a popcorn guy.
He goes for the popcorn, and the movie just happens to be there.
You always ask John the same question after. How was the movie? That was all right. How was the popcorn? Really good. 1-0 pitch to Scudero. He's very high. Scudero picked up an infield hit that knocked in a run in the 5th inning. And a strike. 2 balls and 1 strike. Hit well to left field. Back is Martinez. Looking up off the top of the wall. Scudero is going to stop at second base with a double. And he just missed one.
Well, I thought he had it off the crack of the bat. And I'm thinking he felt the same way.
Yep, I think he did.
Ball goes middle in. They set the target away. As soon as he hits, he starts to measure. They had the sound, and we're thinking short porch, about halfway up on the wall, so an easy 2-bagger. He sets it up for Pablo Sandoval. Yep, he thought he had it.
Doug Brocail's going to come out. Sandoval is 0 for 2. He had a sacrifice fly in the 5th. It really was a low line drive to left field, but it knocked in Angel Pagan. So Brocail is having a word. So Sandoval an opportunity to tie this game up here in the 7th inning. And Scudero now at second base. And the pitch. And Sandoval gets hit. And they're going to say he swung. So Sandoval is going to get the double thud. He's going to get hit, and he's going to get a called strike.
That's the way it is. Doesn't matter if it hits you. If you are determined to have swung at the pitch and you get hit, it's a strike.
I don't know where it hit him. Unless he tweaked his wrist trying to check his swing.
I know one thing, he didn't hurt his hamate bone. He didn't have any left.
Otherwise, unless he's got 2 or 3 of them in there. So it turns out to be a strike, and Rodriguez now is ahead in the count, 0-1. Probably go back in there, right?
Eventually. Eventually.
Blocked by Castro. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Sandoval, I wouldn't throw Sandoval the same pitch twice in a row, ever.
Here he is, 1 ball and 1 strike. One look to second, and a bouncing ball headed out to right field, and it's off of Altuve. And here comes Scudero, and this game is tied. So 2 out, double, 2 out, single, and it's 4-4.
I'll tell you, this game turned completely around when Marco Scudero got the right uni on. And folks, it's a brand new ball game. Altuve gave it a noble effort. And for a second there, I thought he was going to pull it off. Hits on the thumb. He can't get a grip. And an easy score for Scudero. Now Posey has a chance to take the lead.
He's singled, he's lined out to right, and he's bounced out to third. Down low, blocked by Castro. And you know, Altuve's upset. Really, his one job Yeah, you want to make the play and get the out at first, but first and foremost, you got to do everything you can to keep that ball from getting into the outfield. And he did that. It just hit off his glove. He actually did the Giants a favor by slowing it down.
Yep.
Close, and it's 2-0.
If you're going to score from second with these arms that the Astros have in their outfield, you've got to earn it. They've all got good arms. And you see Wesley Wright, the left-hander, starting to get lathered up.
See if Posey gets a fastball here at 2-0. My goodness. It's almost as if he wanted to get Sandoval to second so that they can walk him.
Well, if they don't walk him, he will be sitting on a 3-0 pitch. And I'd bet a paycheck on it. But this is not even close. Jason Castro, none chance. He just blew 95 about a yard to his right.
And it's going to be up to Hunter Pence. First walk for the Giants in this game. Pence is singled and he struck out twice. Sandoval at second. Posey at first. We'll call it the two hamstring guys on the bases.
Well, if that's the case, hit them where they don't have to run. Put it in the bleachers and they can trot home. Sandoval, Posey, a couple of tender hammies.
It's in the dirt, blocked by Castro.
That will not be the last pitch they throw him in the dirt.
Sandoval at second, Posey at first. The 1-1 to Pence. 1-2.
Well, he's sitting up there looking for one thing. And Jason Castro putting down the signs. He's not going to give in to a breaking ball in the strike zone. And he's grooved two fastballs right through him when he's been looking for the hook. Now he's going to see a bunch of stuff in the dirt.
Yep, now he's going to have to be patient, and that's hard to do for Hunter Pence. And this squirts away, and Sandoval will move over to third, and Posey to second.
I think that may have hit the plate. I'm not sure as to why that ball really jumped on Castro. Just exploded on him. Goes down. Doing everything right here, and it just bounced away from his torso. He caught it on the left elbow.
So it's 2-2. Pence fouls that 96 mile-an-hour fastball out of play. Two balls, two strikes.
He wanted to.
He is fighting hard right now, Hunter Pence.
He'll probably go back down there in dirt again. Got a base to play with. Got a left-hander in the pin.
Three and two. Up the middle, and a base hit for Hunter Pence. And the Giants take the lead on a jam shot to center field, and it's 6-4.
It pays to be strong. You got to be a strong man to hit the ball that far up the bat and still throw it out there in the outfield to where an infielder can't get it. And boy, that was a grind right there.
That was a major grind.
They set up away. The ball goes right on his hands, fights it off, and just gets it out past Tyler Green. And the Giants, for the first time tonight, take the lead.
So we're going to have a double switch. When it's time for a change, think Speedy. Oil change and tune-up. Your oil change tune-up and smog experts. We'll be back.
Third time that he's come in. He's been a situational guy. 63 appearances, just 40 innings in total. So you know he's coming in a lot of these scenarios just to get one lefty or two. Maxwell goes out to left field. He'll hit a nice spot. Bat third in the seventh inning.
And Belt takes low. Belt has a couple of hits tonight. Giants have 11 total, none bigger than the last one. Also, a couple of wild pitches helped the Giants' cause.
Yes, they did. One thing of note, when Martinez, the left fielder, was double switch and he left the ball game, Justin Maxwell went out to left. He is a below average arm, so much easier now to score with the ball hit the left field for the Giants than it was earlier with Martinez in left field.
Belt takes low. Sanchez led the inning off with the pop-up of the year that was caught. Then Pagan struck out. Scudero doubled off the wall. Sandoval knocked in Scudero. Posey was walked intentionally. A couple of wild pitches and a Hunter Pence single up the middle. And the 3-0 to Belt. And Belt takes a strike. And Belt down the left field line. That's a fair ball. Pence can run. But getting to it is Maxwell. He will stop at third, and Belt into second base with his third hit.
A nice opposite field approach.
Pagan's going to hit. That's 4 hits in this inning after 2 outs, and right in the middle of the first 2 hits, the intentional walk. So Blanco can make this really sting. And he fouls it back. What a good rip.
And a good pitch to hit. That was a get it in breaking ball. He was biting off a lot of strike zone. You may not see another one that high the rest of the at bat. Think about it. Mostly right though. I mean, he likes that outside corner against lefties, so you can sit on that at least till you get those 2 strikes. Think left field, think away.
Blanco steps out. On 1. Down the right field line into the corner and foul.
Hey, nice play down there. He's a player.
Kind of had an idea it was going to be foul because Blanco, he's got the best view of it, and he wasn't running very hard down the line.
All right, take a look. Backhander. They do have gamer babes in Houston.
Yes, they do.
Nice pick. It's not the first play she's ever made.
So Blanco is at the fight now. He's behind 0-2. And Blanco out, and that'll end the inning. Giants on the board 3 times. They not only just tie the game, but they take the lead as well. The big hit, the Hunter Pence 2-out single to knock in a pair. Giants 6, Astros 4. the gentleman with one of the big hits in this game, Hunter Pence. When it's time for a change, think Speedy. Oil change and tune-up. Your oil change tune-up and smog experts.
Guillermo Mota coming in now for the 11th time. Second time since he has been reactivated. 0-1 on the year. Mota with a fastball that goes low 90s with a slider in the split.
So Mota, who pitched yesterday in his first appearance back after the suspension, and he'll go after Matt Dominguez here in the 7th. Giants with a 2-run lead, and that's a belt tie strike, and it's 0-1.
Dominguez with 2 hits on the night, swinging it well.
One ball and 1 strike to Dominguez. And it's low, 2-1. In the 7th inning stretch, one of the traditions here in Houston is Milo Hamilton, the longtime broadcaster, Hall of Famer. This is bounced up the middle to Arias. He ends up throwing out these little bags of Cracker Jacks. Well, Mike and I decided that we would go buy some bigger bags. Showed it to Milo, and Milo was like, "Oh, you dirty rat." So we threw out the big bags, and Milo wasn't happy.
Milo,
he's not going to speak to us for a week.
No, he will not.
Oh my goodness.
Fun at the yard.
Here's Bogusevic, who takes high. Bogusevic, a sacrifice fly in the 2nd, and he lined into a double play in the 4th. At the knees, 1 ball and 1 strike.
Milo has told us that this is going to be his last year. 67 years in a career, 28 years here with the Astros. Ford Frick winner, 1992, Hall of Famer. And beloved here in Houston, as you can imagine.
Outside to Bogusevic. Maxwell is on deck. No swing, and the walk to Bogusevic. And here's Maxwell. So Maxwell will hit for the first time. Remember, he came in on the double switch.
Saw Santiago Casilla finishing off his warm-up throws. Buster Posey was just given the sign by the Giants bench. Go out and talk to him. Buster really is just coming out there saying, I didn't really want to come out here, but Skipper told me to come out here.
Yep. Mark Gardner letting Bruce Bochy and the bench know that Casilla is ready, and this is going to be a short leash for Mota.
Well, they're still trying to figure out, what type of command he has, what type of stuff he has. I mean, they had a long layoff, and then in that layoff, he only had 6 rehab starts in the minor leagues, so he's still.
This is driven down the right field line, in trouble, and foul.
Not by much.
Section's getting some work. When it left the bat, I thought it was going to be a fair ball.
I did too.
It's like Lance Berkman's here.
It does resemble Berkman. But in regards to Mota, I mean, Bochy, he has to evaluate quickly. Mota was a late inning guy when he left. You assume he could do the same thing, but maybe he's not quite ready yet. So you got to give him a short leash.
Runner goes. Swinging a pop-up out of play.
It's a good thing that was foul because he could have stole that base standing up.
So it's a quick 0-2 to Maxwell. Runner goes again. Down low. Posey's throw is going to be late.
Perfect slider for the strikeout. And Mota, very deliberate out of the stretch. Didn't really give Posey a whole lot of help holding the runner on.
So here's Altuve. Well, if you have a hard time throwing strikes, this is not the guy you want to face. Altuve's 1 for 3. Pretty amazing what happened for Ryan Vogelsong. 2 outs, nobody on in the 7th. He's down, right, by a run. You can get a decision. Altuve pops it out of play.
Well, I mean, that would be a nice victory for Vogelsong to get, having been down in the ballgame 4-0 in the 3rd inning. His teammates really did a nice job of picking him up. But I got to believe he's owed a few. There were a few nights there where he couldn't score for him. You're going to have a good year. It all evens out.
0-1. On the ground to Sandoval, who hesitated briefly, recovers and throws out Altuve. So Mota gets an innings work in, and it's 6-4 Giants. Troy Milo.
Way.
Our Toyota game summary brought to you by your local Toyota dealer. Vogelsong, he went 6 innings, 7 hits, 4 earned runs. He threw 101 pitches. Hunter Pence has got one of the big hits. Lyles, who's looking like he might get a win, he gets a no decision. Dominguez has had a nice game in his first day back from AAA. When it's time for a change, think Speedy. Oil change and tune-up. Your oil change tune-up in smog experts.
Ryder Cruz, the new pitcher now for the Astros. 35 strikeouts in 44 and 2/3 innings. He's got good stuff. He's got a low to mid-90s fastball, a slider, and a changeup. And he's got strikeout stuff and a real short, quick arm action that gets on you quickly. Kind of a low 3/4 release, short arm, deceptive type motion. You see guys out of the bullpen coming in, and you look at their ERA, and his is 6.34. And you're thinking, all right, this guy's good to hit, right? Well, that's not always the case. I mean, he will give you something to hit. He doesn't have great command. But that does not diminish from the stuff you're going to see because it's funky.
Look who's on deck, Mikey.
Matt Cain.
Arias pinch hit in the 6th. He saw one pitch and popped out. And he takes a fastball high. 1 ball and no strikes.
I'm not really that sure if Matt Cain wants to take it at bat off a guy with a low 3/4 sling type release.
High, 2-0. Pitch coming up to Arias. And he skies one to left. Hit very well. Maxwell back. Looking up. Out of here. And it's 7-4. He's a hot hitter right now, folks.
You know, he's getting good pitches to hit, and he's not missing them. Just a mistake, but look at the bent arm swing. And this is a guy who supposedly you could jam from the right side. But look at the arms bent through the swing. When you're hitting balls out of the ballpark with bent arms, you're doing something right. I don't care if it's the Crawford boxes. That's a good at bat.
Figueroa. And Figueroa missed that by 2 feet, and it's no balls and 1 strike.
Yeah, he swung at that like that's the first breaking ball he's ever seen. It's all right. Could look bad on 1 pitch. Now you've seen it.
I know what you're going to say. Setting them up.
Just setting them up.
So it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Figueroa in the big leagues 0 for 5. In the dirt. Cruz trying to go back to the pitch that Figueroa swung at and missed. And twice now Figueroa said, nope, I did it once, I'm not doing it again. So the kid looking for his first big league hit. On the ground. Altuve. 1 out. And here's Pagan. Pagan is 1 for 4. A double for Pagan. He had a bouncing ball over the bag at third in the 5th inning. So the Giants were trying to crawl back. They were down 4-0. The 3 runs in the 5th gave him life as Pagan bluffs a bunt, and it's 1-0.
I thought that double was the biggest hit in the game. Yeah, we've been saying that about Pagan a lot these last couple 2.5 weeks.
So here's the 1-0 to Pagan. Lifts it into left field. Maxwell. 2 outs. And that'll bring up Scuderos. Scuderos had a couple of big hits today.
We've been saying that a lot too. These last 2-3 weeks, they have been such a good 1-2 punch. And what is the one thing that impresses at this level? It's consistency, and that's what they've given the Giants.
Way outside. Scuderos says, no, not Paguro. I'm not going to swing at that one. It's 1 ball and no strikes. Sandoval would hit if Scudero gets aboard here in the 8th inning. And he takes one right at the belt to even the count. Cruz deals to Scudero. Swinging a drive to left. Maxwell back at the wall, and he puts it away. And Scudero rounds the bag, and he gives it a little. Arias, a solo home run. It's bye-bye, baby. It's 7-4 Giants.
San Francisco Giants baseball on Comcast Sportsnet, part of the NBC Sports Group. Back here at Minute Maid Park, Giants leading the Astros as we go to the bottom of the 8th inning, 7-4. Remember, when it's time for change things, Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up, your oil change tune-up and smog experts. New pitcher for the Giants will be Javier Lopez. 59th time that he's come in this year. He will face the heart of the beast, the 2-3-4 hitters of this Astro team. 26 strikeouts and 29 2/3. We see it just about all the time now. Guys coming out of the bullpen, just about everybody is averaging a strikeout an inning.
They would face Tyler Green. Green homered off of Vogelsong in an opposite field home run right down the right field line. First pitch strike, and it's no balls and 1 strike. Well, the Giants needed to get some innings out of Vogelsong, and they did. Tapped back to where it came from. 1 out. And now the reason Lopez is in there is because of these guys coming up, and that would be Wallace and Castro, 2 left-handed hitters. And it makes it sound like Lopez cannot get right-handed hitters out, and that's not true. He can't. But he will make it a tough at bat for lefties. Here's Wallace, who's 0 for 3, and he takes a strike at the knees.
Bang, strike 1. Both hitters he faces come in right out of the pen. Bang, bang, strike 1, strike 1. It's so important. I think it's even more important for guys coming out of the pen because it really, really calms them down.
Swing and a miss. 0-2.
Everything intensifies when you're coming out of the pen. Starting pitchers, they have a chance to kind of warm into a game, get their rhythm. They don't have to have the rhythm as quickly as a guy out of the pen does. The guy out of the pen's got to have that rhythm. Bang, and strike 1 does wonders for calming a pitcher down, for giving him that confidence quickly.
Oh-2 pitch. Inside, 1-2.
Plus, I mean, starting pitchers can make mistakes. You saw Brian Vogelsong get down in the game tonight 4-0, and his offense rallied back. I mean, you don't have that luxury coming out of the pen. And that's the difference between a starter and a reliever.
Wallace stays in there on that one. It's 1-2.
You're a manager or a coach, and you're deciding as to what role your particular pitcher is going to do for you. That's one of the considerations. How fast he can find his rhythm. Those guys better suited for the pen.
Wallace drives one into right center field, and Pagan's going to track it down. Mike, we showed some highlights in our tees. Go back to 1982 when the Giants were about ready to be eliminated, and Ron Pruitt got a big hit to keep things going. But I want you to watch Pruitt and watch Alan Ashby when Pruitt made contact. Watch the hitter and the catcher. Neither knew where the ball was. Pruitt actually said he thought the ball was fouled back into the seats. And finally someone yelled at him to run. And with that win, the Giants stayed in it until they were eliminated on a Saturday afternoon.
That's because it sounded like a foul ball.
A swing and a miss by Castro. And it's unusual to see both a hitter and a catcher react the same way. Castro doubled in the first, struck out in the third, and then drew a walk in the sixth. Oh, and 2.
Castro is not picking him up.
He faced Lopez last night. Remember, he was supposed to call for that fastball in.
Yeah.
And he hit the ball sharply to Belt, and Belt turned the 3-6-3 double play to end the game.
Perfect 0-2 pitch.
Fastball away, 1-2. Hit on the ground, Belt. Belt wrestles with it, takes it himself, side retired. Here comes the ninth. 7-4 Giants. Subscribe to MLB.tv today to take advantage of new low pricing. See every remaining Giants out-of-market game live online or on your favorite devices in HD quality. Visit sfgiants.com to order. Get more details. MLB.tv. Baseball everywhere. Giants fans everywhere. Here's Sandoval. Sandoval is 1 for 3 with 2 RBIs tonight. He bounced a single into right field to knock in the tying run in the 7th.
That was a big hit. 2-out single. Set up the big 3-run inning.
And a bullet to right field, and Paredes is going to track it down. Tomorrow morning, Mike will be at the top of his game. He'll have a lot of sleep. And you can turn in to Murph and Mac. With Murph gone, Mac will be there for the morning show on KNBR. I can talk about this game with Mac on KNBR 680, the sports leader. Paulie Mac today, visited with him. He was great. I think he's better without Murph. I think Murph is slowing him down. I do.
Yeah. Well, he's having a good week. Paulie Mac is.
Yeah, Murph on assignment. Here's Buster Posey. Buster Posey's got a hit in 3 at-bats. He was walked intentionally in the 7th and scored. I have to believe that for guys that have power, those Crawford boxes are so inviting that it can mess you up.
They absolutely can take you out of your swing. 100%.
Such a short porch to left. Talking to Danny Radisson, the first base coach, he said, you know, the home runs that really beat you here are the left-handed hitters that get fooled. And they got a little pop. I said, Lance Berkman used to play pepper with those seats. I mean, it goes pretty well to right field. A soft line drive to Dominguez, 2 outs.
Well, all those years I played in Wrigley Field, every time the wind would blow out, you'd watch batting practice and guys just having a ball, getting the ball up in the air and hitting the ball out. Just back then, it was the liveliest field. Now it's like ranked 16th in the major. It tells you how things have changed. But what you learn to do when you were a pitcher is pitch inside, because once you see a guy's shoulder drop and he starts to lift, that's where you can get him. Swing gets long.
Here's Pence. Up and into Pence.
And I think the Crawford boxes do that to hitters here. It changes their swing.
Pence with a base hit in the 7th inning to knock in a pair. And I'm not sure the hit was more impressive than the 2 pitches he took before he got the base hit.
Yeah, it was a grinding at bat. He went from a 1-2 to a 3-2, and then he got that hit on a fastball that jammed him. But that was an impressive at bat.
3-0.
Sergio Romo will pitch the 9th inning.
Pence takes a strike. Chris Young has just homered against Clayton Kershaw with a man on. It's 2-0 Diamondbacks. Matt Kemp not in the lineup tonight.
And Kennedy with a no-no into the 4th inning. It's early, but still, he's been good.
Pence takes the walk. I don't believe he really wanted to walk in that spot. And here's Brandon Belt, who's got 3 hits tonight. Old teammate on the left, Joe Patini.
Now the bench coach here in Houston.
Had a chance to visit with Joe today. You visited with him yesterday. Longtime coach with Tony La Russa with the Cardinals. David Coppett, one of our bosses at Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area. Joe Patini, his favorite player. You know, Joe would like to hear that.
He would.
Because I don't think he ever thought anybody liked him in San Francisco.
Well, we did.
Belt with a base hit to right, his 4th hit. Pence is on the move. Paredes is going to dig it out, and they're going to challenge Altuve, and he made it. So Hunter Pence stretching it out. Belt with an RBI double, and it's 8-4.
And I'm talking about zero hesitation. And as soon as I saw the green light go up from Flannery, I'm thinking he's out by 20 feet.
Yeah.
And it wasn't close.
So Belt, have a night.
Yeah, you know, good for him, really, because he's had a lot of family and friends here this whole series. And he put on a show for him tonight.
Here's Blanco. Blanco's 1 for 4, a base hit and 3 strikeouts. And a first pitch strike.
Watch as he picks up Flannery. I mean, I think he got a little surprised when he got the green light.
Blanco fouls it back. So it's 0-2. Blanco trying to avoid that 4 strikeout night. Here's where I bunt back to the pitcher, but you better keep it fair. On the ground into right field, a base hit. Belt's being waved in. Here's the throw home, and it is in time, and they got him, and that'll end the inning. So Tim Flannery being aggressive, and Blanco picks up the base hit. Giants add on. They lead 8-4. Central tonight at 8:30 right here on Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area, hosted by David Feldman and Brody Brazil. Giants highlights, D-backs, Dodgers highlights, 49ers and Raiders final preseason games. A lot going on Sportsnet Central. You better check it out at 8:30. It's after Giants postgame live. So Lopez is back out to face Jimmy Paredes, and the Giants with a 4-run lead. Paredes has a couple of hits. He's 2 for 3. The ball's in 1 strike. Now to be on a plane after the ball game to Chicago. The 0-1 pitch. Chop foul. Dave Clark. Not a problem. Tonight, Vogelsong, Mota, Lopez. The pitch. Inside 1-2. Marwin Gonzalez is on deck. And Paredes just got a piece. He stays alive.
And he got a piece of Posey too.
Maybe Buster a day off tomorrow.
Well, I would imagine a day game after night game, and we're talking about a short turnaround. Giants will probably get him to Chicago somewhere around between 2 and 3 tonight. You can see that ball get the inside of his right leg. And then it'll be an early bus call to head over to Wrigley Field for a 105 game in Chicago. So, yeah, I would think it'd be a good opportunity for Buster Posey. Of course, he hates missing Bumgarner games.
Yes, he does. Popped up. Belt. Scudero, not at one point did he have any idea if Belt was going to catch that or not. That's not, however, Mike, the most important thing of the day tomorrow morning.
Well, it is.
Your show.
That's right. That'll be one of those shows where you're going on about 4 hours sleep and you have no idea what you say when you get off.
Yeah, you know how many times I've asked you, what did you say? And you say, I don't remember.
Yeah, a lot. It's not a good way to work.
That's a fireable offense.
I know. Something's going to come out.
Here's Gonzalez. Gonzalez takes a strike at the knees. Up the middle, kick save to Sandoval. Sandoval on the run, and they've got him.
Whoa.
And tripping and falling is Gonzalez, and he may be hurt. Boy, he hit the bag really odd, and he is down.
Boy, it absolutely knocked every ounce of air out of him.
Yeah, hopefully that's what it is. He got the wind knocked out of him.
He landed flat on his back.
But it's that.
I don't think I've ever seen anything like that before at first base.
Well, you know what happens, Mike, is this is how you tear your ACL, and I'm not saying that's what it is, but right there, see it?
Yeah, that could not have felt good.
And hopefully they're looking at the ankle because you don't want the ACL gone.
He's in pain. Rex Jones, the trainer, out, longtime trainer. Last time I saw something like that, it was David Palmer with the Phillies going into a third base where he kind of got foot tied and it all went weird, but that was violent right there.
Well, it ends up being a 1-5-3 kick save put out for Lopez. And now with 2 down, look at it again. But nothing good happens when you jump at first base.
Yeah, he hyperextended his left knee. He twisted his ankle, landed on his back. He's not doing well.
Just hope it's not his knee. Here's Dominguez. Down low to Dominguez. At the knees. With Lopez going back out, he can get a save in this one. And if that were to happen, it would be his 6th. Towards the hole and into the hole. And a base hit for Dominguez. That's his 3rd hit. And the hitter now will be Bogusevic.
He's moving around better. So hopefully he'll be able to shake this off. Rex Jones always has had the best mustache in baseball.
Bogusevic 0 for 1. Sacrifice fly. He lined into a double play and he drew a walk. Outside and low. Romo has been ready to go if Bruce Bochy needs to get Lopez.
Well, I mean, if Lopez can't get Bogusevic, then I would imagine you would see Romo.
Strike. At first, Dominguez. Up the middle again, off of Lopez, and it's going to be a base hit. So a couple of balls off of Lopez, and here comes Bruce Bochy. And it's going to be Romo. So when it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up. Your oil change, tune-up, and smog experts. Romo in, and we'll be back.
To face the Cubs, and you will get complete Giants coverage every night on Sportsnet Central and CSNBayArea.com. Tomorrow's game is in the 11 o'clock game. The pregame live starts at 10:30. You'll see Madison Bumgarner on the hill against the right-hander Chris Volstad. Then Saturday, it will be a 9:30 a.m. start time for pregame live. With Tim Lincecum will be taking on Justin Hermano, and then Matt Cain gets the finale of the road trip taking on Travis Woods. So that is the Cubs series. Join us if you would. Love to have you for all three. You'll see it right here at Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area.
So Romo in. (8-5) or 8-4. And his numbers.
Well, they're good. Third time he's come in. Right-hander's hitting $177 off him. He's been fantastic. More strikeouts than inning pitch.
Maxwell waves at that slider. No balls and one strike.
It's a good combination when you have more strikeouts than inning pitched, and if you combine your hits and walks, they're their total is less than your innings pitched. I mean, you know you're having a great year when that's happening.
Same pitch, same results, and it's 0-2. So Romo not taking a long time. Hunter Pence has been running around like a little kid the whole game. Got him, and that's the ball game. And the Giants sweep the Houston Astros, and tonight they had to do it by coming back after trailing 4-0 early, and a nice comeback win. And a nice win for Ryan Vogelsong, who gutted this baby out.
Well, indeed, and this offense really picked him up. This is the biggest blown loss run-wise for the Astros this year. It matches their total, but 2 comeback victories in this series, and that is exactly what you need this time of year. Great series.
Giants 8, Astros 4. The Esurance Giants postgame live is coming up, but first, let's go to Sportsnet Central Studio for an update. Thanks for watching Giants baseball on Comcast Sportsnet, and it's all part of the NBC Sports Group.